The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to The Absurd, our podcast about the absurd histories and mysteries and just bizarre things going on. We got plenty of stories that are funny, freaky, and even frightening. That little giggle guffaw over there is Mel.
Hi.
Hello, Mel.
How's it going?
It's going okay.
Guess what today is?
It's Victoria Day.
Well, it is.
It's Monday, Victoria Day.
It is. What else?
I think it's International Panda Day.
Now you're just making shit up.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's our first anniversary.
Yay.
Yeah, 1
Look
year
at us.
of the absurd.
Still here.
Golly geez, eh?
I know.
Yeah, and to celebrate that, if you will, to give it back, we're doing a bonus episode here today.
Mm-hmm.
This is not it, but you should listen to this one first.
Yes.
Because you'll enjoy it. We know you will.
Yeah.
Hey, I just had some peanut butter.
Did ya?
Mm-hmm. I was so hungry. I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
And I needed something to tide me over, and peanut butter, God, I love peanut butter.
It's a good thing Maddie wasn't here, my dog.
Why?
Because she loves peanut butter.
Does she?
She certainly does.
Now, you said a minute ago you shouldn't say you don't like peanut butter.
No, it's not something that I would go choose.
Mm-hmm.
But at Costco, they have these really good pretzel peanut butter bite thingies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
PPBB?
my God.
Yeah.
They are delicioso.
Really?
Yes. So whenever we bring those out, the dog's like, can I have one? Is someone going to drop one? Someone's going to drop one.
What do I got to do to get one of those pretzel bites? So, yeah, she likes peanut butter. Most dogs do.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
Yeah.
And it is pretty damn entertaining if you give them, like, a gob of peanut butter.
Yes.
Because they lick their face for, like, hours afterwards, you know? How is Maddie?
She's great.
Yeah, is she?
Yeah.
Huh.
She's good.
She's a lab or a retriever?
She's a retriever.
Right. So do her ears stand up?
No, they hang low.
Do they?
Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to a throw?
No way.
Can you tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow?
Whoa. Dude, you gave me a huge flashback. One to my childhood. But weirdly, okay, so I was listening to one of my radio plays last night. Not one of mine, but I collect radio plays.
Yeah.
And the story was called Hickory Dickory Doom. Yeah.
All right.
But you know the Hickory Dickory Dock.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know how the rest of it goes?
The mouse ran up my... Oh, different one.
Yeah, very different. Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, Hickory Dickory Dock.
Yeah.
Now, that's a Mother Goose.
Yeah.
Nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And they're ancient. Like, you know, relatively ancient, like early 18th century.
Mm-hmm.
So almost 300 years. But they were saying how they have meaning. They're not just, you know, an assemblage of words.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to look at Mother Goose because, I mean, it's not a thing I read too often, ever.
Right.
And as I'm reading through the list of Mother Goose nursery rhymes, Do Your Ears Hang Low came up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a Mother Goose, but it is a nursery rhyme.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And a British nursery rhyme. So I hadn't even thought about that song, that nursery rhyme for God knows how many decades.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, you say it.
I just sang
You
it.
said
Look
it.
at that,
Wow.
eh?
You know there's another version, though, too, right?
Is
Instead of
there?
ears? Yeah.
And what would that be?
It would involve a slang word for the testicle. Yeah.
Testicle.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
That's the proper French
Yeah,
way.
well.
I think that's how you say it in French for testicles. Testicle.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, so anything new?
No, not
No.
really.
Good weekend?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, good.
Just kind of hanging around at home, and I went to Markham on what night did I
Saturday.
say? Saturday night for a friend's 50th birthday,
Oh, my God.
and it was actually quite lovely. She didn't know I was coming, so
Oh,
it
nice.
was very exciting. I hadn't seen her in probably 8 years or so.
When
But-
she was 42.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good math.
Did you stay over?
I did not.
Really?
I did not. I came home.
Golly.
It only took me an hour and a half to get home.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No
I'd
big
rather come home to my own bed.
Oh, with you.
I'm at that age. I'm at that age where sleeping over is a big deal now.
Oh, man, I've been that age a long time. Yeah, man. Like my friend, if he would have a party across town, even on New Year's, be like, you can crash here. I'm like, yeah, I know.
No.
Like,
Especially when you're that close to home, you might as well.
Well, I won't be uncomfortable there. It's not about where I'm sleeping. It's about where I'm waking up.
Yep.
I don't want to have to deal with anything in the morning.
No, or talk to
Right?
anybody.
So I'd grab a cab, even though I'd have to wait like half an hour for
Yeah.
the cab. Oh,
Then
I
you're
didn't
home.
care. I was all for it, dude.
I love it.
Yeah, my weekend was okay. Except last night.
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
I was so bloody furious,
Yeah,
man.
that was,
Furious.
That was painful to watch.
Yeah, we're not going to say what we're talking about. But
I'm sure people can figure out
well,
the disappointment
if they
that
can,
ensued.
awesome. If they can't, hard cheese.
Hard
Hard cheese, yeah. So, we got stories.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it to start? I think it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
I can't either. I
Um,
could just go.
yeah, you should just go.
Okay.
Why don't you go?
All right.
Oh,
What?
I have a... No, maybe I'll tell you the joke in the bonus episode.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell my story
Yeah?
then. It's not a joke, it's a
Okay.
story.
All
Yeah,
right.
sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Or maybe later in this episode. Yeah.
All right.
What are you waiting for? Go.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
Martin Arthur Cooney
Ooh.
was an American obstetrician and advocate and pioneer of early neonatal technology.
Cool.
Cooney was also known as the incubator doctor,
Interesting.
the best known in the medical circles and public view for his amusement park sideshow. The infantorium, in which visitors paid 25 cents to view prematurely born babies displayed in incubators.
Wow.
Originally, incubators were used by poultry farmers to hatch chicken eggs,
Truth.
with the original design being a little more than a heated enclosed box. Each incubator at Cooney's infantorium measured around 1.5 meters high, with steel walls, framework, and a glass front. In order to fill the incubators with warm water boilers fed warm water into pipes that ran underneath where the babies rested, and thermostats were placed inside the incubators to maintain and regulate temperatures. Cooney was also concerned with the entrance of impurities, obviously, into the air of the incubators. In order to filter out impurities in the air fed through pipes which were filtered with wool suspended in antiseptic, and again through drywall. The air was then cycled out of the incubators, constantly refreshing the infant's air. Cooney's shows varied in name from fairground to fairground, including the infantorium and baby incubators.
I like infantorium.
Yeah, me too.
That's cool, man.
Cooney's slogan was, "All the world loves a baby," and he encouraged nurses to take the babies out and cuddle them in front of audiences. There's so many things wrong with all of this. The babies were placed in incubators with glass doors to allow visitors to see in. Cooney worked in tandem with established Dr. Julius Hess, and he employed a team of nurses who lived on site, taking care of the premature infants at all hours. In 1903, the average cost of a care for one infant at Cooney's facility was $15. It's about $405 today. The care costs of premature babies was expensive. However, Cooney did not charge the parents of his patients for their care. Cooney made up the cost for caring for infants through the entrance fees during the exhibitions. The entrance fees covered not only the care of the infants, but also allowed Cooney to pay his nurses a good wage and facilitated the frequent traveler of the exhibit. Upon being admitted to Cooney's care, infants would all undergo the same routine. The infants were first bathed in lukewarm water, and if they were capable, were given a small dose of brandy. Ribbons, either pink or blue, were tied around the babies and allowed visitors to identify the sex of all infants.
Tied around the baby's what? Like neck?
Maybe.
I hope not.
Feet?
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
The infants... rather than the neck?
Yeah.
The infants would be on show... Sorry. The infants would be on show throughout the day in individual incubators, including 2 hours for feeding. The preemies were fed breast milk in 3 different ways, depending on the varying abilities of the infants to receive milk. Most were fed by either wet nurses or using bottles. Cooney placed strict diet restrictions on his wet nurses. While under his employment, wet nurses were not allowed to smoke, consume foods such as hamburgers. Apparently hamburgers are bad.
Bummer.
Or drink alcohol.
Yep.
As Cooney believed doing so would impact the quality of the breast milk.
He ain't wrong.
Cooney also encouraged his nurses to take the babies out of the incubators and cuddle them in front of the audiences. In addition to holding the infants, one of Cooney's longtime nurses would show a diamond ring to audiences before sliding it up the baby's arms to emphasize the tiny size of the infants.
Moly.
These performances, however, triggered outcry from child protective groups, claiming Cooney objectified the infants for monetary gain. Cooney defended his sideshow, claiming his exhibits were the last resort for many preemies and that his practice's survival rate was much higher, in fact, than many hospitals. Throughout Cooney's career, whenever a midway or fairground closed, Cooney attempted to donate his incubators to local hospitals, though his donations were never accepted. By the year of Cooney's death in March 1950, incubators had been integrated into public hospitals. Cooney is now recognized as a pioneer of early child care.
I like him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
some of the pictures that I saw were pretty cool. Like, cool in a fact that's like normally you don't see that kind of stuff, right? So they just have these tiny little babies out at the circus, basically.
Where do these babies come from? And I know I don't mean like the daddy has a seed and the mommy has an egg. I mean like, where were their mothers?
They weren't there. The babies were given over to his. So he had like what's the word that I'm trying to find? He had a facility. Sorry, he had a facility where he would care for these babies, and some of them would go out to these shows.
Oh, okay. So it was with the blessing of the mothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't buy that group object. Like, okay, sliding the diamond ring on their arms. That's a little, I guess, a little exploitive. Does a baby care? I don't know.
Probably not.
Right.
But I mean, think of money, like a NICU nowadays, like you can't even go in them without being completely sanitized and.
Well, no, granted, but that would have barely been known back then. I mean, this guy was like already like, no smoking, no drinking.
Yeah.
You're damn right, those things shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is even before when the doctors would prescribe cigarettes for you because they thought they were good for you. So this guy was ahead of the curve on that.
Other than the brandy, but you know.
That's not new though. Giving babies alcohol.
No?
I mean, it's not really. It's not a good idea, I don't think.
Dipping the pacifier in whiskey.
Well, they would do it to stop babies from crying.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
It's probably not a good idea. It might work for me.
And then the not eating hamburgers. Well, okay. I mean, a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But maybe fat content. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But my point is that the guy clearly had the child's health in mind.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, and the money he was getting, he was putting towards these incubators, towards taking care of the babies. I don't know, man. It's weird. I didn't know about that. Mm-hmm. But I got no grief with what's his face, Martin Cooney. Mm-hmm. Cooney. That's a weird name. I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
All right. What you got?
Well, oh my God. Let me just tell you what I got. Do you remember the story with the guy, his wife was in hospital and it found out later that, he was killed in his kitchen. nice old guy. And they found out that the perpetrator had been living in his attic.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Do you like attics?
No.
Which word summons up more terror for you? Attic or cellar?
Cellar.
Yeah.
Definitely cellar.
Yeah, I know. Because you're already underground.
Uh-huh.
Like an attic, if worse comes to worse, you can jump out a window.
Yeah, right.
Cellar, what are you going to do? Dig your way out?
You can't. You're stuck.
It's kind of a scary word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cellar.
Do you remember that movie, People Under the Stairs?
Of course I do. Love that movie.
Man, I love that movie.
That's fantastic.
I remember watching it as a teenager.
Yeah, huh?
And me and my friend Cheryl, we'd be watching that movie and we would count, and I wish I could remember, I want to say 73 times, the guy says the word hell.
Oh, yeah.
Because he says it a lot.
Well, because their expression is they all burn in hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, and the movie's actually pretty funny.
Oh, I need to watch
in
it
like
again.
dark humor kind of ways.
Yes. I like the kid in the walls.
Oh yeah. But what's the little black kid's name? He has a nick. They call him by a nickname. And it's like one of the tarot cards. Fool. That's what they call him. And he's a genius. Like he's awesome. He's an awesome kid. And the girl who helps him in the house too.
Yes.
Sometimes in is out. You're like, no, go. But anyway, I digress. We're going to go back here to 1922 when police were called to a home in Silver Lake area of Los Angeles after there were reports of gunshots. When the police arrived, they found a man lying dead in the living room with multiple gunshot wounds, including one to the back of the head. Just for the record, back of the head is not a self-defense move.
No.
Right.
Definitely not.
The dead man's wife, Dolly Osterreich,
Wow.
thank you, was found alive, locked in the closet. Dolly told the police that there was a robbery and that the robber locked her in the closet. But the police had their suspicions about Dolly and her story. Dolly told the detective that she and her husband never fought, not even once. Baloney.
Right.
The intensity of her denial made the detective skeptical. What married couple doesn't fight? Plus, her husband was killed with a .25 caliber pistol, a very small caliber, generally considered a woman's gun. Yeah, that's for you.
Thanks.
Welcome. What kind of robber carries a woman's gun? That's what it says here. I didn't make that up. But the police could not figure out how Dolly could have killed her husband when she was locked in the closet. They would later learn that there was much more to this LA housewife than anyone could have expected. The story behind the murder actually started in Milwaukee a decade earlier, when, in 1913, Dolly met a 17-year-old boy named Otto Sandhuber. At the time, Dolly was 33, and young Otto worked as a sewing machine repairman. I just want to go out on a limb here for a second.
Okay.
Let's reverse this. What would we think of a 33-year-old man hitting it up with a 17-year-old girl?
Not great.
This is no different.
Yeah.
No different. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, one day, Dolly called her husband at work and told him that her sewing machine was broken. Do you have a sewing machine, Mel?
I do not.
Oh, weird. When Otto arrived to fix the machine, Dolly answered the door wearing nothing but stockings and a silk robe.
Ooh,
the two
scandalous.
became lovers, and soon Otto, who had become fixated with Dolly, of course he's 17, man, moved into her attic so he could be close to her.
Wow.
Yeah. Dolly's husband had no idea what was going on inside his own home. Dolly would let Otto out of the attic during the day while her husband was at work so he could do household chores and perform the duties as a lover before being stowed away back in the attic at night when Dolly's husband returned home.
Wow.
Otto would later describe himself as Dolly's sex slave, stating that she would insist on having sex as often as 8 times a day.
Holy.
Really? This routine continued year after year after year.
What?
In 1918, so 5 years later, Dolly and her husband decided to leave Milwaukee and move to Los Angeles. Dolly had only one condition for the move. The new house had to have an attic. A suitable house with an attic was located in Silver Lake, and Otto also made the trip to L.A. I wonder if he, hung on the underside of their car or something.
Yeah, I can get there.
The routine continued in Los Angeles for several more years, and Otto stayed in the attic until one night in 1922, 9 years later. That night, Dolly and her husband got into a loud argument. Otto listened as the argument became more heated. Fearing Dolly was in danger of physical harm, Otto rushed out of the attic with a .25 caliber pistol.
Jeez.
When Dolly's husband saw Otto, he became enraged and rushed toward him. During the struggle, Dolly's husband was shot 3 times and he died. In a panic, Dolly and Otto staged the scene to look like a robbery. Otto took the husband's watch and Dolly hid herself in the closet. Otto locked the closet door from the outside and returned to the attic. The police never found Otto and therefore could not explain how Dolly could have killed her husband and then locked herself in the closet. After her husband's death, Dolly moved into a different house, which also had an attic. Otto moved in as well. But Otto was not enough for Dolly. Oh no.
Oh no.
And she started having affairs with multiple other men. I don't want to throw stones.
Wow.
Miss Dolly, she's a little bit of a tramp.
Wow.
I'm not judging how many sex partners a woman has, but a little bit of loyalty would be okay,
After he lived in her attic for 9 years.
Yeah, and still is. And killed her husband.
Yeah.
The murder of her husband finally caught up to Dolly after she gave her dead husband's watch to a lover, the same watch that was allegedly stolen during the robbery.
You done fucked up.
Then she asked a different lover to dispose of the .25 caliber gun. He threw it into the La Brea tar pits. She even asked one of her lovers, who was also her attorney, to bring groceries to Otto in the attic. Is that a good idea? How can that be a good idea?
What?
Oh, by the way, you thought I was only one sleeping with you? Yeah. Can you take some food to my sex slave in the attic? Moron. When these men started telling the police what Dolly had asked from them, the police finally started to piece together what really happened the night of the murder. 8 years after the death of her husband, Dolly was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Otto was charged with murder. Otto initially confessed and told the police the whole story. He told investigators that he had an overpowering love for Dolly. On that fateful night, he explained, he believed Dolly was going to be killed and he shot the husband to protect her. He even took officers to the house and showed them where he hid in the attic. Later, when the case progressed to trial, Otto recanted, but law enforcement had already put the pieces of the puzzle together. The case became a media sensation and was referred to as the love slave murder or the Batman case. Cool.
Wow.
During trial, Dolly admitted that Otto shot her husband and covered it up to look like a robbery, but contended that she took no part in either and only lied to the police to protect Otto. I don't like this woman. I didn't believe he meant to do it, and I didn't want to expose my life to the world, having him in the house, she said. Dolly testified that she loved her husband, despite the fact that she hid Otto in the attic for 10 years. However, the prosecutor painted her as a cold-blooded murderer who aided and abetted the Garrett Ghost lover in perpetrating the murder. If there is any sympathy to be felt in this case, do not waste it on this woman, the prosecutor said. All your sympathy should be with the dead man who wanted a home and a loving wife and who was shot down in his own home when he discovered the lover of his unfaithful wife in his own living room. The prosecutor's final words to the jury were simple: hang this woman. Otto was found guilty of manslaughter, but was released because the statute of limitations for manslaughter had expired. What kind of an effed up country?
What?
Same with rape in the U.S. They have a statute of limitations. So if it's however many years too long ago, you're free. You're fine. Even if there's evidence that comes. Tough shit.
Wow.
The case against Dolly ended with a hung jury, and she was also released. Dolly died in 1961 at the age of 80. Otto died in 1948 at the age of 51. What do you think of that?
Holy, there's a lot to unpack there.
Word, sister. Do you have an attic in your house?
Probably.
What do you mean probably? You don't know if you have an attic in your house?
Well, everyone's got an attic in their house. It's just a matter of if it's usable.
Do you have a hatch in the ceiling upstairs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. Do you ever go up there?
No.
Yeah, there'd be nothing there anyways.
Not a chance.
Why?
Nope.
It'll just be insulation
and bugs and maybe a dead bird or something.
How would a bird get in there? Probably isn't.
I don't want to go up there.
That reminds me. This is off topic. Have you ever seen a house centipede in your house?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's centipedes that live around here. They're called house centipedes.
Okay.
And they are fast. But if you see one, don't kill it.
No?
No.
Why?
They will not hurt you. They will not bite. And they kill other bugs that you don't want around.
Okay.
Just telling you.
Well.
All hail, house centipede.
I'm still probably going to kill it.
Don't.
Yeah.
I'll tell. So, yeah, that's
wow.
Attic Lover.
That's interesting. So she moves to a new house after her
across the country.
Right.
Yep.
He follows her. Otto follows her, but she's still like, no. You still need to live in the attic.
Well, she wanted him to go. Right. That's why she insisted upon them having a house in L.A. that has an attic in it. Like, and that's what I mean. That's why I said there before about let's flip the gender roles in here. That it was a 17-year-old girl and a 33-year-old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we'd be like, he's totally manipulating her.
Right.
That's the case here too.
Yeah.
100%. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
Because arguably 17-year-old boys are probably less mature.
Yeah.
Than 17-year-old girls on
For
the
sure.
average.
Yeah.
So it's even more. It's reprehensible.
Wow.
You know.
And then she still has
Other lovers.
Wow.
But then she
What does this woman look like? Did you have a picture of her? I'm very curious.
I have seen she was whatever. But I mean, there is a different aspect to it. I mean, excuse me. You can be hot as heck and still suck in the sack.
Right.
Conversely,
right.
You don't have to be super attractive to be. Oh my God, when's that happening again?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think one of my feet fell off. Yeah. The what? Oh, yeah, right.
I gotta open my beer.
Oh God. I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
I'm better.
Yeah, so that's it, man.
Wow.
You got a story for us, eh?
Yeah,
What's it about? Ooh-wee. Is it about food in any way?
Bing, bang, bada, bada, bing, bang.
Ting tang.
You're a ting tang.
You're a ding dang. I don't know what that means.
Let's go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a short one, but I found it extremely entertaining.
Really been, but I'd sure like to go. Song by James Taylor.
Oh.
Anyway.
Are we done now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. A woman in Mexico was so blinded by jealousy that she couldn't recognize her own naked body before resorting to violence, authorities said. The angry wife is accused of stabbing her husband after finding photos of him having sex with a much younger and slimmer woman. What she failed to realize was that the mistress was herself, photographed a few years earlier. The suspect, identified as only Lenora, saw the explicit images on her victim's cell phone earlier this month and decided to attack him with a kitchen knife at her home.
Very outside.
Little bit, you think?
Yeah.
In a town northwestern state of Sonora.
Ooh.
Sonora, sorry.
Sonora, yeah.
Police told local media. She reportedly grabbed the weapon and stabbed him multiple times without giving him a chance to explain himself, according to the Mexican newspaper. The poor husband, who sustained several injuries but survived, was eventually able to disarm his violent wife and calm her down, authorities said. He then explained to her that the photos were from them having sex when they were still boyfriend and girlfriend. The victim reportedly told her he found the old images in an email that they exchanged years ago and decided to save them on his phone.
Very romantic.
Lenora took a close look at the photos and finally recognized herself.
Oh, gee whiz, Lenora. Way to clue in there, sweetie. Yeah.
However, it was too late because neighbors had heard the commotion and called 911. The woman was arrested and is now facing domestic violence charges.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
So, yeah, I guess she's changed over the years and didn't recognize herself.
Jesus. Like, maybe you want to chill a little bit.
Yeah. So it sounds like she didn't know he took these pictures. So she's...
Yeah, but she said there was an email exchange.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And even still, man, maybe you don't go right to stabbing somebody. Like, hey, who the hell is this in the pictures with you? Oh, that's you. Oh, yeah. Like maybe that simple question.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, Lenora.
Can't say that, if I'm fighting with my husband, my first thought is a knife.
It is? Because you've told me you've threatened to cut me on a number of occasions.
Yeah. The threat might be there, but...
Lenora needs to chill, man. She needs some therapy.
Needs to chill.
Yeah, well, big time.
She needs to chill.
She needs some anger management.
I mean, he's looking at pictures of her. Like, that's the best case scenario right there.
Yeah. Like, I've certainly received racy photos from partners.
Wow. What's his name? You can take that out if you want. But that was funny.
Yeah.
Speechless.
No, I'm not speechless. I got a lot of things I could say.
Just not
and want to.
It.
No, I'll get my revenge. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. You said that took place in Sonora, eh? Mm-hmm. That's weird, Since I got my CPAP machine, I no longer Sonora.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow, you're proud of that one.
I'm not proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody
what do
hell.
you got?
Oh, I got stuff.
You got something else?
Yeah, I got something else. All right. Would you tend to agree? No, I'm not even going to ask what your opinion is because I don't really care after your comment.
Wow.
Yeah, take that.
Okay.
But my position basically is on anything... Huh? What'd you say?
Nothing.
Shut up. Okay, so my opinion basically is on things pertaining to sex. If you're an adult, you consent, obviously, and you're able to consent, right? You're not too loaded. You're not. You're not intellectually delayed, wherein you can't give consent.
Right.
So long as everything's by consent, I'm pretty much do whatever you want.
Sure.
I don't have to approve of it or even get it for me to be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Saying that, there are lines in the sand. This is going back, all the way back to April 30th, 2025.
Okay.
In Wales. Not the animal. Like, not that kind. But like the country, the part of the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
So, the leader of an extreme body modification ring who once cooked human testicles to eat in a salad has lost a challenge against his sentence at the Court of Appeal. I don't even really like meat in salad. But if it has to be in there, maybe a little bit of chicken's okay. Bacon, sure.
Bacon.
Caesar salad.
Oh, yeah, I can't go wrong with bacon.
But testicle in a salad?
You said it human?
Did you
say human?
I did say human.
So many questions, but go ahead.
Well, you just settle, Gretel. Okay. Marius Gustafsson, which is definitely not a Welsh name, who also had his penis removed with a kitchen knife, was jailed for life with a minimum term of 22 years last year for his role in the enterprise, which carried out male castration, penis removal, and other procedures on people as young as 16. He challenged his sentence at the Court of Appeal in February alongside these other dudes. There's like 5 of them, who all received jail terms of between 3 years and 8 months and 12 years for their part in the plot. At the hearing earlier this year, lawyers for the men argued that sentencing guidelines used to determine how long they should be jailed for did not adequately take into account a scenario where people had given consent to be assaulted. But in a ruling on Wednesday, Lord Justice William Davis and these other justices, they dismissed all these appeals. But that's an interesting question, because you can't consent to be assaulted.
No.
I want you to ponder this. Should you be able to consent to that?
Well,
don't talk right now. I'll come back to you.
don't talk right now.
In the 25-page judgment, Lord Justice William Davis said that the sentencing judge carried out a difficult sentencing exercise and that the case was extremely unusual. Yeah, no shit. He said the adjustments made to the sentences to allow for the unusual circumstances were reasonable and proportionate. The sentences were intended to give a message to anyone minded to engage in highly dangerous procedures involving body modifications. That reflected an appropriate purpose of sentencing. He said, because cases of consensual grievous bodily harm are rare, consistency must give way to the judge. The Old Bailey, which is a term for the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales, heard last year that extreme body modification is linked to a subculture where men become nullos, N-U-L-L-O-S.
Okay. Short
for genital nullification, by having their penis and testicles removed. That'd free up a lot of time. You know? Prosecutor Caroline Carberry told KC, what does that stand for? King's Crown. Yeah. Told the court that Gustafson netted more than £300,000 between 2017 and 2021 after posting videos of various procedures on his Eunuch Maker website. I just held up air quotes for that. The Norwegian once cooked human testicles to eat in a salad and also froze his own leg, so it needed to be amputated.
What?
With Ms. Canberry saying he was linked to at least 29 procedures and that there was clear evidence of cannibalism. The court heard that the defendants used a wide variety of tools, including clamps used for animal castration with body parts put up for auction online with a Buy It Now button. Gustafson also offered to sell the severed penis of one of his victims for hundreds of pounds, with some 22,000 subscribers paying to access videos on the Eunuch Maker website, with varying levels of membership from free to VIP, which cost £100. He was arrested after he used a red-hot iron to brand a man's calf. Like not that kind, but like the calf on his leg.
That's that. Yeah, I got that.
Man's calf with the letters EM for Eunuch Maker. And after he was detained, police found his penis in a drawer of his home in Haringey, North London, 4 years after it had been amputated.
Oh my gosh.
He later pleaded guilty to conspiring to commit grievous bodily harm, 5 counts of grievous bodily harm with intent, making and distributing an indecent photograph of a child, and possession of criminal property. Now, the indecent photograph of a child...
Yeah, you should be strong for that.
But strictly speaking, that is accurate, but they're talking about the 16-year-old.
Okay.
Which I'm not defending.
Right.
It is still a child.
Right.
But it is a whole different level than if we're talking like an 8-year-old. Right. Because a 16-year-old did consent, but he can't give consent.
No.
Right, because of his age. So, yeah, man. So there's a whole scene going on out there, like, wasn't really aware of, and pretty okay not being aware of.
Yeah, that's something.
Like, I don't even understand. Okay, obviously I don't understand why you would want your own penis removed, but then why would you keep it?
Right.
Hey, guys, I don't know, did I ever show you this? You know?
Won't see my dick.
Yeah. Eat a dick. No. So yeah, dude, that's
Wow.
it's the eunuch maker.
That's disgusting.
It is.
Okay.
It's something, all right, for sure.
And so, yeah.
What were we gonna say? What were we gonna
No,
ask?
just people are signing up to do this.
Well, who would want to buy it?
I don't.
Like what? I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you do with it. You know.
There's a lot of weird shit out there.
Oh, dude, that's why we're here. You know, to show the world.
It's so absurd.
Oh, you. Hey, you got anything else?
No.
Please tell our peoples what they should do, what they can do to help us.
Yes. You know what, guys? You should give us 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Go on to Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Check us out there.
Mm-hmm.
Or wherever you listen.
Mm-hmm.
And rate us.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps us.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to theabsurdpodcast.ca and see where you can find us. And all those places where you can like us, love us, share us.
Yes, and please share. Please spread the word.
Yes.
You know, the absurd is coming. The absurd is coming. Something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
ride a
great.
horse while you do it.
You
A la
should.
Paul
A white
Revere.
one. Yeah, on the beach.
What beach?
I don't know. Pick a beach.
Why a white horse on a beach?
I don't know.
You dreamed that last night or something?
Night.
Really? Yeah, we'd really appreciate that, guys. If
Yes,
you
that'd
could,
be awesome.
you know, like she said, you know, give us 5 stars, spread the word, send us a comment, give us a review on your preferred streaming platform. We love it all. We love it all.
Yes. We love that.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Thanks, Mel. Thanks for delivering the end of the show message, as you usually do, as you always do. In fact. Oh yeah, by the way, we did have some good feedback, and no offense, but on my solo episode last week.
Good.
I wasn't nervous, obviously. Like
No.
I have zero problem with speaking in such capacity.
Right.
But it's a little different.
Absolutely.
You know, because
Yeah.
you don't have someone to play off of.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But no, I think
That
it
was
went
great.
well. Yeah.
You did a wonderful job.
Ah, thanks. All right. Well, everyone, thank you again for stopping by and listening, and hopefully you'll tune in again next time.
Yes.
Reminder again, we do have a bonus episode coming out this week as well.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And it'll be a fun one. You don't want to miss
It'll
it.
be a fun one,
Yes.
fun one. I just made that up.
Yeah, just not with Rod singing.
With lots of Rod singing. All right. Thanks again, everyone. So please take care of yourselves and one another.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, I gotta pee.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mal. Music by Audionautics.com.